imposters everywhere. Richard Hart, bracket, don't ever send me money, imposters everywhere, bracket. That's fucked up, right? And I'm out there actually making an effort trying to stop the fucking scams. Everyone else is like, oh, fucking that Richard, yeah, he's a scammer.
Call it a scam, nobody really cares. We can tell you the only one that ain't prepared. Oh yes, I'ma be a millionaire. 5, a couple trillion shares. Oh no, I ain't getting wrecked again. Richard Hart, he got us set to win. We're a family, we all the best of friends. We ain't a cult, man, just call us Hexicans. ICOs, pump and dumps, they always try to take you. Buy low, sell high, I'm tired of your fake news. You need a token, you broken, you wanna see some massive gains? Lambo, new crib, model wife, cash and chains. Look no further at your final destination. Don't be complacent every day when you paper chasing. Choose the best, leave the rest, stop investing like you press. The only crypto that you'll ever need is HEX. Call it a scam, nobody really cares. We can tell you the only one that ain't prepared. Oh yes, I'ma be a millionaire. 5, a couple trillion shares. Oh no, I ain't getting wrecked again. Richard Hart, he got us set to win. We're a family, we all the best of friends. We ain't a cult, man, just call us Hexicans. Your investments are safe, it's got defenses. A mutable contract that pays trustless interest. I don't understand why everybody is hating. HEX is capped at 3.69 inflation. Shares are like hash rate. The higher you take her, the more daily interest that gets paid to the stakers. Always do your own research, don't listen to me though. It's complete, it can't be changed. HEX is finito. Call it a scam, nobody really cares. We can tell you the only one that ain't prepared. Oh yes, I'ma be a millionaire. 5, a couple trillion shares. Oh no, I ain't getting wrecked again. Richard Hart, he got us set to win. We're a family, we all the best of friends. We ain't a cult, man, just call us Hexicans. The game has changed, ain't no going back now. Dummies that called HEX a scam can back down. I hope you understand, I pray that you follow me. You owe the entire HEX family an apology. And stay sober, cash out, the game's over. HEX is here for the market cap takeover. Buckle up, we about to be full throttle. With multiple audits is where we get paid to hodl. We got the game smothered, sisters and brothers, with no expectation of the work from others. It's complicated, I know that there's a lot to this. For your daily HEX updates, tune to Hexologists.
What's up, guys?
HEX is like nothing that you ever been through, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the pumpamentals. If you like what you hear, by now, think twice. Just remember, yo, this ain't financial advice. Call it a scam, nobody really cares. We can tell you the only one that ain't prepared. Oh yes, I'ma be a millionaire. 5, a couple trillion shares. Oh no, I ain't getting wrecked again. Richard Hart, he got us set to win. We're a family, we all the best of friends. We ain't a cult, man, just call us Hexicans.
Freddie quotes.
Welcome back. I am coming out of the closet. And yes, I'm a Hexican. Always was from day one or prior. If you guys remember, I actually was promoting it, or not promoting it, but talking about it prior to the AA lobby going live. In the newsroom back in the day when I was Wolfpack Cryptos, right? And I was telling everyone, well, first I was posting the interview with Tone Ways, right? And I'm like, this guy is honest. He's extremely smart. If he actually builds this and pulls it off, it's going to be something huge, right? It has potential. Upside potential, infinity. Downside risk, I was starting at like 0 practically. Anyways, go to Freddie Quotes' YouTube. I hope he doesn't get mad. I use this. He only has 176 subscribers. That's a damn shame. This is a good song. Freddie Quotes. That was a pretty dope song. Everyone subscribe to his YouTube. Alright, so look, I mean, I did do a HEX video back in December 5th, 2019. Or was it November 29th of 2019? It's on my BitChute, but I posted it to my YouTube channels, but I had to remove them because we had a huge YouTube purge back then. And I swear, I was convinced. I'm like, oh man, they're coming after cryptos. It's over. And I was pretty convinced. Everyone was complaining like, oh my God, they're taking down my channel. And these were big YouTube channels. So, I did talk about it for free or whatever. Yeah, for the last like year, in every single one of my videos, I was like, I have a crypto. I think it's going to do like 1,000x. I think it's the next big thing. I'm like, you don't want to miss it. And then like 6 months ago, I'm like, okay, there's a couple people becoming millionaires. You guys really don't want to miss it. And I was even showing the chart on like a lot of my intros. And I'm telling you guys, this is the crypto. It's going to replace Bitcoin, the boomer coin, right? And a lot of people just didn't take it seriously. Even people in my private group, a lot of people just did not take it seriously and buy. I don't know why. I'm going to talk about it, the psychology behind people subconsciously sabotaging themselves. It's a real thing. I've even done it when I was younger. I'll talk about that. Yeah, it's up like, I don't know, like 300 and some 1,000%. Listen, Bitcoin went up 6.5 million X. So 1x is 100%. That's doubling your money. Okay, well, it went up like 6.5 million X, right? So from 1 penny to $65,000, that's what Bitcoin did. HEX is infinitely better than Bitcoin, than Boomer Coin, all right? Than Bitcoin. It just is. You have to change with the times. I don't know what to tell you. So we're going to talk about a lot of things. I'm going to talk about what HEX is. I'm going to talk about... And by the way, you didn't miss out. You did not miss out. And I'm going to talk about why you didn't miss out. I'm going to prove to you why this thing's going to go so much higher than any of you could ever imagine or expect. There's another opportunity. The same guy, Richard, right? He basically... Think of HEX as like the new Bitcoin. And Pulse Chain is essentially Ethereum 2.0. He's doing a hard fork of Ethereum, entire system state fork. That means every ERC20 project will have a duplicate, a copy. So he's basically making a second crypto market. This is the biggest thing happening in crypto. Everyone's been gatekeeping it. It's still pre-viral. Everyone's been gatekeeping it because they're scared, I believe. Maybe at first they just didn't like that he was speaking a lot of truth. Listen, that's why I gave the man respect in my time, and I listened to everything he said, because everything he said was true, even back in 2019. He used to be a Bitcoin maximalist, right? And then he updated his worldview. That's a sign of intelligence. If you stay stuck in one place forever and believing the same thing forever, the world changes, man. Technology. What do you think crypto is? It's technology. It changes. It adapts. It becomes better. And if you don't move with it, you'll get left behind. All right. So HEX has been gatekept from the beginning. CZ owns CoinMarketCap, all right? Just know that. That's the Binance, the guy who has Binance. And let me show you. It's on nomics.com. Now, everyone's... Okay, so HEX is an IQ test. I'll talk about Pulse Chain, and right now, the launch of it is happening. You could sacrifice... I'll talk about that in a second. Let's just talk about HEX for a minute. And then I'll go into Pulse Chain, and then I'll jump back into HEX, explaining what it is and blah, blah, blah. Real quick. On Nomics, which is basically CMC CoinMarketCap, just better, with it has the highest rating for doing the CoinMarketCap thing. By the way, look, market cap means nothing. It's a vanity measure. Richard's right. if I have 10 rocks, I sell you one rock for $1 million. The market cap of my 10 rocks is $10 million. If you sell it back to me for $1, the market cap just dropped to $10. That's what market cap is. Market cap doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is buyers and sellers and the thickness of the order book. Okay? Now, a lot of people look at the total. This is the extent of people in crypto and their fundamental research. I swear to God. And this is why a lot of people look at it and it's an IQ test. They don't actually look into it and do research. And trust me, HEX is going to change the world, but you actually have to research it to even know what it is. But this is the first thing they'll look at. So they look at the supply and they're like, this is ridiculous. Look, 573 billion supply. The volume's only 97 million, which is actually getting up there now. Market cap is 76 billion. And then they're going to think, and it's number 3. It's right behind Ethereum. And then they're like, well, I missed the boat on HEX, blah, blah, blah. It's already, it's already number 3. This is ridiculous. Look at the circulating supply and blah, blah, blah. All right, what they don't know is that 90, give or take a few percent, but about 97% of the supply is not in circulation. It's not liquid. Like 95% is literally part of the contract, the OA. And everyone's like, oh, well, Richard could just dump all that. Oh, first of all, he's already a billionaire. I have my own guy running a node on all the wallets. I could see all of Richard's wallets. He had money prior to this. He was already super duper rich. Like, he's not going to, even if he did have the keys, even if he did control all of those, he's not going to destroy his own reputation, his legacy, his project. There's no need to do it. There's no upside to that. There'd be a lot of pissed off people. But it's not. He's got his own separate coins from when the launch through referrals. The OA is part of the contract. That's the magic sauce for the perpetual running contract that runs for hundreds of years. It's a smart contract. Okay, I'll get more into that in a little bit. And that's how you could get 40% interest a year. Okay? So, and I've got a guy running a whole node, and we've got a UI, all kinds of stuff going. All right, so, I mean, we've got our own UI here. We're looking at all the wallets. We're looking at all kinds of things. But I did not bring it up. And we're tracking the wallets, guys. And this is proprietary. I don't think anyone has this. Not that I've seen or sharing. So we're keeping this to the private group. My paid private group. At least my paid private group is fair. It's like $20 a month. It's not $1,000 to get in to fudge yourself out and dump the price, right? So yeah, I know what I'm doing. I'm the old school OG crypto geeks, Wolfpack Cryptos guy. All right, don't forget that, guys. Let's just say I've had a few trips in crypto land over the years. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the wallet. 97% of the supply, well, 95%. I don't want to bring it up on etherscan.io. You could look at the contract, the HEX contract on etherscan.io. You could bring up the pie chart, and you could see that most of the coins, like one entity owns it, and that entity is essentially, I consider it as the contract, the smart contract to enable everything to work. And this is a self-contract running on its own. And that's what provides the high yield, okay? And it can make it happen. So, really, the circulating supply, And this is when the light bulb really clicked on. All right. So, yeah, I got in day one and I did some dollar cost averaging, and I was lucky enough to start staking like the first, 6 weeks of the AA starting, right? When HEX was launching, you could pretty much mint your own HEX by sacrificing Ethereum. Okay. So and then you minted your own HEX. So 95%, okay, is part of the contract. The rest of the HEX supply, which is in the hands of the people, 10% of it is staked, but it's actually more. So whatever's staked, really, I don't think should be considered in the market cap when you're really looking at this. And many, many months ago, one of the guys in the HEX community did a chain analysis, and I always thought the contract, the OA, whatever you want to call it, had about 71% supply, as you can see on Etherscan. But it turns out it's really like 95%. Okay, it includes many of the whales, like the shark and the leagues and whatnot. So it really comes down to liquid HEX that isn't staked for years and years and years, or 1 year, 5 year, 10 year, all the way out to 15 years. What's liquid that you could sell into the market is really only like 20 billion. Okay? And after the Pulse Chain sacrifice phase here, it's probably fallen over 2.6 billion. So we're getting down towards around, I mean, give or take a few billion, but it's not for certain. But I think it might possibly be under 18 billion now that is liquid that can be dumped onto the market. Now, people who are staked, they lock up their coins to earn that massive interest, but they can't just at any time willy-nilly unstake. I mean, they can, but if they don't serve their time, their account gets nuked. Their interest gets nuked, so does the balance, the principal that they put in. Now, people think, oh, I don't want to lock up my coins and put it on some website or blah, blah, blah. And, crap, I didn't bring up the front end to that. It's the contract. You're interacting. The interface is a website, so you have nice visuals to do it. So you don't have to do it through the blockchain because not everyone's galaxy brain techie, right? It just makes it easy. It's user friendly. Matter of fact, it's not just user friendly. You can see the interest. You can see the dates. You can go to other HEX YouTube channels. You can go to hexstreamers.com, and they're all there. And then go to HODLdog. He shows you how to stake HEX, this and that. Or Crypto Coffee. I think that's what it's called. Or go to Hexologist. And then the window is amazing. I'll make more videos. I'll show you guys. Everything about HEX is addicting. It's like amazing and addicting. And you're watching your wealth grow. Now, so when you lock up your coins, right, you pick the dates, you pick the time, you can lock it up at any given time, a year from now, 10 years, 5 years from now, and you're accumulating massive interest. When other people do not uphold their end to the contract, the emergency end stake, that's what it's called when you just want to get out, before your time has accrued, then they're going to get a huge penalty. And then the penalty, it's not really, well, some of it, like half of it gets pretty much burned. It goes back to the contract, the OA. And then the other half is distributed amongst the staking class, okay? So this is how it works. Picture, you know what? Let's just do more visuals. Here's HEX. Here's the contract, the address. See, this is the contract, the OA, right? Here's all the little holders, okay? We just had a sacrifice. The HEX community were sacrificing their HEX for Pulse Chain. A lot of it went in there, 2.6 billion. Probably at the end will be like 3 billion. I'm hoping 5. That'd be even better. All right. So let me show you this. Here's the liquid amount of HEX disappearing. Okay. Out of active wallets. Okay. I don't think I even looked at this. I haven't made videos in a while, so I'm umming a lot. I hate when people do that. So the amount of sacrifices are actually going up right now into the sacrifice wallet. Let's see, token transfers. See transactions. Transactions are going up. Ether transfers. The big day was the 18th of July, but it's going back up again, so more people are going into Pulse. Pulse is going to be huge. Huge network effect. Long term, that's very good for long term growth. The bigger the network, the more people who participate, the more people are going to share about this Pulse chain, right? So, ERC20 token transactions. Look at all this HEX. Ooh, this one's big. Oh, it's 100,000. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. It's looking great. Everything is going according to plan. All right. So you know what? Let me show you some more things real quick because I prepared a big video. You know what? Let me show you guys some more things because I prepared a big video. Alright guys, let me show you guys some more things because I prepared a big video. Here's one of the Lambos. Another guy bought a Ferrari, 3 Teslas, just endless shit. I'll talk. T-shares is hard to understand. I'll leave that for later. Or you could look up on Hex Clips T-shares. I mean, I could do that right now. Look up this video. How much T-shares do you get for your dollars? Who gets the inflation? Great videos at Hex Clips on YouTube. Okay, so a lot of people are doing rainbow charts and doing random lines and parabolic curves. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think it's still too early to do TA on Hex, and I think if you're doing TA on Hex, I believe you are under people's expectations are going to be lower than they should be. We could shoot to $1 like in a few days. You're just going to see giant bull flags as soon as virality picks up, okay? Yeah, I mean, we should be at $1 already. It's just that the gates have been no one's been talking about Hex. As soon as the gatekeeping comes down, it's game over. So there's you can't TA that. There's no technical analysis that tells you, hey, look, virality's picking up. People are starting to understand Hex. They're starting to understand yield. They're starting to understand that they can replace their jobs or have a second source of income forever. But this is what's amazing about Hex. You can see this on the Staker app. People just emergency end staking. Look at this. They promised to stake for 462 days. They did an emergency end stake at 384. These are whales, by the way. I mean, this is unreal. These are very, very early adopters the first few months. They got a penalty of $1.36 million. And this is what I'm talking about. People just can't handle themselves. As soon as they see $1 million or whatever, they just cannot handle themselves. Oh, by the way, Richard might end up on Real Vision because he won the survey. There's a lot of God whales showing up. There's one God whale that's really big into HEX. He has over 90-some thousand ETH. He already sacked 10,000 into Pulse, and he's got a lot of HEX. And I don't know if Ethereum's going to do so hot for the next few months, because it's falling with Bitcoin, and Bitcoin just fell under 30,000 support. Look at all these front ends, guys. It's amazing. Crypto banner. I mean, the gates are falling, so virality is coming very, very soon, guys. Here's a great example. How many 10x's did Bitcoin do? Well, a lot. I think it's 36 or something. HEX has done maybe 6. So look at this. Look at all these emergency end stakes. It's early, guys. You can still get up in the leagues. Here's a dolphin. So all of these emergency end stakes, they're going to the staking class, the real OG diamond-handed, or what is it called? What's that metal? I don't know. RG3 talks about it. And the weak hands are getting shaken out, and strong hands will persist. So and it's really good for price, guys. Really good. Okay, that crashed. Great. Well, you guys get the point. So if we could get just 3 billion to 5 billion HEX sacrificed, there's no reason why the price shouldn't just rocket. Just rocket. Mainnet launches. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to buy PHEX. Price going to moon. Like, I expect HEX to go to a different dimension, not moon. Dimension. We've already mooned. We're going into different dimensions, all right? And this is like I'm really excited to see where we're going to be by the end of the year. So, and there's strategies. There's a lot of there's going to be some degeneracy, PRC shitcoining, and there's some strategies I've got that I'm not going to share, but But listen, you didn't miss out. All right, guys. This HEX smart contract is like a water wheel, okay, that pays high interest, high yielding interest, like a bank CD or whatnot. Now, what is the most in-demand thing in the world that no one has? It's called yield. Wall Street chases yield. That's all they chase. Why? Because bonds are held artificially low by central banks. Okay? And this is what Richard said in 2019. And that's what really caught my attention. I'm like, holy shit. This is like something I've dreamed of. Boomers get it. Boomers are going to understand this better than the young generation. You see, that's why the crypto people hate HEX. Because they can't understand it. They're just only used to pump and dumps. And they've been jaded by cryptos because everything's a rug pull, a scam, promise coin. It's all centralized. It's all just promises, empty promises, okay? And everything is really just a pump and dump. And I've said that numerous times since the beginning of time, okay? Except for HEX. It has a different mechanism. That's why HEX has been going up while everything else has been crashing. Okay? Look, HEX has been going up. I mean, yeah, it took a dump just recently. I'll talk about that. It's not a big deal. I'm not worried. Actually, this is great. So I'm making this video so you guys could buy this freaking dip because it's so early. Here's Ethereum. The rest of the crypto market's been crashing and burning. Dogecoin, all the shit coins, just crashing, burning, dying. What I tell you was going to happen. I've been saying this for 8 months. HEX will do amazing things in a bear market. This is, what is this pattern? A giant head and shoulders, a volcano pattern. What? This looks very bad, guys. And I said this on Twitter, everywhere else. Falls below 30,000. And I've been telling you guys, go to my free Telegram groups and my Twitter and this and that. I've been talking about HEX for months, for like 3-4 months, openly, publicly. I just haven't made a video about it because recently I had issues. Someone tried to hack me. All right, and I had to like redo everything and, you know, wait for hardware, this and that. So I'm jumping all around, and I know it's annoying, but bear with me. And the water comes back out. But it also produces electricity, right? The electricity is the interest that you could accumulate, okay, by staking your HEX. Now, the longer you stake it and larger the size, the more HEX you get. The longer pays better is stronger than the size. So you could move up, let's say, in the ranks, in the leagues. You could become a whale if you stake it long enough and hold and wait, right? Now, what's beauty about this entire system is it holds the price up and it makes the dips smaller, okay? So essentially what you're going to end up seeing is endless bull flags, fractals, like everything else, except you're not going to see huge crashes. I mean, you did in the beginning, you still do, but that's because we still have a decent, I don't want to say a decent amount of whales, but we still have whales, okay? Like a decent amount, because this project is a baby. It's an infant, okay? In the HEX Telegram group, there's 24,000 people. That's nothing. In the Pulse chain's much bigger because it's basically Ethereum 2.0. But and people understand that better. They could understand that. HEX is much harder to understand. Okay? So people are afraid of it. But they're going to miss out. Where could HEX go? It could go infinitely high. Like, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to put my reputation on the line. We're going to be testing $10 by year end, $100 by the end of 2022. I know that sounds insane because the price right now is at 13 cents. But once it's pre-viral, guys, pre-viral. And I've done the chain analysis. We've done the chain analysis. Okay, so let me finish explaining what it is. So by staking it, it takes liquid HEX off the market. Okay? And what incentivizes you to stake? Well, the high interest and the yield, which, I don't know, the stock market's always chasing, which is the bond market. You can't. Why is everyone chasing yield? Because of high inflation, right? So, pensions, 401ks, endowments, small, like mini hedge funds, like home offices for the wealthy. Everything, countries are trying to find high yield. There's negative rates in Europe, and we're practically at negative rates in the U.S. and Japan, all over the place. What does that mean? That means you're losing money over time because they keep printing it. What does that mean? That means every year you get a pay cut, 20%, 10% pay cut, year over year. That's why you're getting poorer no matter how hard you work, okay? So everyone is chasing yield. You can't stick your money in the bank anymore and get yield. You get absolutely nothing. Matter of fact, inflation is running so high that everyone is losing money over time. The stock market's in a bubble. How much higher can it really go? So even if your stocks go high, adjusted for inflation, you're going to be losing money from now on. So how do you outrun inflation? Because inflation is theft. You're being robbed. You just don't know it. That's why they do it. It's an easy way to buy time and have a collapse. It's like a slow motion collapse. Western civilization, essentially. Entire globe is a Ponzi scheme. It's funny people calling this a Ponzi when they don't understand that their job relies on a global financial Ponzi scheme. Everything's financialized because of central banking now. So it's all a Ponzi, guys. This actually isn't. Actually, humanity is. If the birth rate isn't replaced, if people aren't having more than 2 kids, then the human population starts declining, and if it's declining, it's like a Ponzi. It implodes on itself. All right, and that's what Keynesian economics and the entire global financial system is based off of: human population growth. And you know what? It's slowing down, especially in the West, and even in China, right? It's because of the one-child policy. Anyways. HEX could save you. It could replace your job. I wake up every day. And the first thing I do is I walk in my bathroom. I plop my ass on the porcelain throne. Before a turd even hits the water, I made more money than 99% of people on this planet. Yeah, like I'm making over $1,000 a day in interest off of HEX. Do you understand? Do you understand what that means? If you have a job, you could have a second source of income. Eventually, as the price of HEX goes higher and everyone finds out about it, especially Wall Street, and God willing, who knows? What if let's do a hypothetical scenario. Let's say Latin country that's financially in trouble. I don't know, let's pick a nation. Right, hypothetically, let's say El Salvador, right? They don't want to tax their citizens anymore because pitchforks. They don't want to end up like Venezuela, right? Printing their currency away out of existence. So how do they fund themselves? How do they fund the government? Well, technically they could print and then buy HEX and create a staking ladder, and then every year they could just fund their government. And they don't have to worry about inflation because they just exported it to the world, and they don't have to raise taxes. Whatever small country does this first is going to be saved. They're going to save themselves. And they're going to be very prosperous. So let's talk about staking ladders, right? So that's the possible opportunity and demand, right? So what do you think will happen to the price of HEX, which is the liquidity of HEX is constantly shrinking? Maybe someday there'll only be 21 million liquid HEX out there to buy. How funny would that be? I highly doubt it, but that'd be ridiculous. But it's going to keep the liquid supply over time will keep shrinking. All right. And why is that? Because people are looking for this. This could replace your job, your 9-to-5 rat wheel, your hamster wheel, right? That keeps spinning faster and faster until you don't have any more hours in the day to work because you can't pay your bills because of high inflation. All you have to do is trip. Like you lose your health, you lose your job, and you're screwed. You're done. You're going to trip in the hamster wheel and start spinning like that meme. So let me show you. By the way, the community is amazing. The smartest people in crypto are in HEX. And they create a bunch of websites, bunch of front ends for this smart contract, this crypto, right? So they could stake it out, and let me show you what a staking ladder looks like, or how people are staking. These are all front ends, right? People are making these websites for this smart contract, okay? And what you could do is, let's say, this is what I do. Every year I have one stake that comes due. I stagger it out. I try to have large chunks come out maybe every 2 years, every 3 years. But in between, I still have some stakes coming out to hold me over until the big stakes come due. Now, eventually, at some point, if the price is getting really high for HEX, which it will, let's say it's like $10, $50, whatever. Like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do with like tens of millions of dollars, right? I could take the principal, roll it over far out into the future, another 15 years, and I could just live off of the interest. And the interest alone might be just a lot, right? So, and this is already happening. A lot of people are retired, and this project's only a year and a half old. I can't believe I kept my tongue, I bit my tongue this long. Oh, another reason why I bit my tongue, right? I'm going to explain to you guys why I did all that. But here's when the stakes come due. These large bars, right? Ideally, you don't want your stake coming due when everyone else is, because there'll be more liquid supply on the market, which will give you maybe not a bear market, but like a pullback from all-time highs, right? So around 2028, there's less stakes coming due. Around that time, you might want a large stake coming due. After the 2030 mark, HEX, the inflation, because the inflation is being dispersed to the staker class. People who don't stake, their liquid HEX is getting diluted technically, because there is inflation going into the ecosystem. Ironically, the inflation is only 369%, right? Not 300, 3.69%. Less than Bitcoin's. Much, much less than, I don't know, all the fiat currencies and every other crypto. So technically it's the most depreciating asset, but yet you could still get that high ROI or the APY or the interest, right? Mainly because the OA has all those coins. And once we hit that 10-year mark, then it becomes very deflationary. And that's when the price is going to explode. Now, I mean, there's so many websites and front ends you guys can look at. This is the most transparent crypto ever created. And people call it a scam. That's how stupid they are. It's absolutely amazing. They're just in denial because they have their bags. And listen, crypto creates cults, just like the Tesla cult, right? They will never sell their Tesla shares. They want to be a part of something. It's like new religions. This will be probably the most powerful cult in the world eventually. And you know who runs the world, right? So, and why is that? Well, I mean, it's amazing. When let's say you're new to HEX, right? And you do your first stake. Let's say you do it for 5 years. What does that mean? That means you are a walking, talking billboard and promoter of HEX for 5 years. And once you do a 5-year stake and you see it accruing value, I didn't bring up that website, but there's other people, you could see it. You'll see the calendar, you'll see the T-shares, and that's a whole different video. And then you'll see your contract running and the amount of interest you're accruing every day. It's very sticky. It's fun. And it's like, and it keeps you engaged, right? It's not like Boomer Coin. You just buy it, it's in some wallet, and then you think about it. There's nothing really to think about. The only thing you could do is transfer it and hold it. It's the only thing you could do with most cryptos. This one, it's engaging. It's fun. The community is fun. There's so many streamers now. It's a very fun community. We have the best memes, the best everything. So yeah, I mean, there's so many websites to give you guys data. It's so transparent. It's amazing. All right. I mean, look at all this. I don't want to go into this because we don't have time. If I make a long video, you guys won't pay attention. All right. Let's talk about something else real quick. So as I was talking about that, there's the Staker app, okay? And you could download this on your iPhone or Android. And you could, like, there's not a day you're going to go by and not look at this. You could look at the leagues. You could look at, there's a price chart on there. You could connect your wallet and see your interest accruing. It's really neat. It's really, really cool.
For example, you can see a
and in the future, I wouldn't be surprised if there's fiat on board, and you could just give this to people, and they could easily onboard, right?
8 years here for
and download the app, fund it with like a card, and just real quickly, within 5 minutes, own some HEX. They could stake it. And imagine this. This is what you Hexicans should be doing. What you should be doing. So if you get, once you get someone new, right, and you just get them to stake 10 years out, 15 years out, right off the bat, a very small amount of money. Just be like, dude, listen, here's 20 bucks. Just give them 20 bucks cash. Stake out 20 bucks for 15 years. Like, they might forget about it, but maybe like 2 years later or something, they'll look at it and their 20 bucks will be like 2,000 bucks. And boom, then they get it. And they're hooked for life. They're a lifer, man. So the rest of their life, they're going to walk around and tell people about HEX. And this is what's going to happen. Like, the compounding effect of the community growing is going to get exponential at some point. So the 100 monkey effect, if you don't know the story about that. There was an island, right, where they were testing nukes. And the scientists wanted to do an experiment. So there's thousands of monkeys on the island, and there's radiation all over the place, and they wanted to teach the monkeys to wash the coconuts. So they realized so they got one monkey to do it. They taught one monkey. After a few weeks, that one monkey taught like 20 monkeys. And then the 20 monkeys, once they hit 100 monkeys, then all of the monkeys were able to see that there's a group of monkeys over there washing the coconuts, and they're thriving and living well. And then all of a sudden, the entire island all of the monkeys on the island started washing the coconuts in the river or the pond or whatever. That's what's going to happen. That's when the network effect and the virality takes off, and it's going to be like boom, just in a short period of time. And if you go back, that's what happened to Bitcoin when it hit $1,000 or $1,300. And I remember, I was there. Shit, I remember when Bitcoin, I remember Bitcoin, I think in late 2009 or early 2010. That's right, I knew about Bitcoin back then, guys. Ironically, so did Peter Schiff, because he used to have a radio show, and he interviewed a real OG Bitcoiner. And I remember listening to his radio show and then seeing the interview. And of course, I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, this is video game money, whatever. It's not going to work. But I did think about, well, I should probably throw a couple $100 into it. At that time, I would have been able to get tens of thousands of Bitcoin. And I look back on it and I'm just like, wow, what a dumbass. I really wish Schiff just said, hey, it's not going to hurt to throw a couple $100 at it, as a speculation, as a little gamble, some pocket change. But even if I did do that, what have I held till now or until 65,000? Hell no, I would have sold that like at $100 at max. All right, so this is Bitcoin, the chart of Bitcoin. I mean, this was 2017 bull market, right? This was when the virality hit for the first time. For the first time. And it went boom. And retail investors were buying Bitcoin. When did Wall Street get in and all of that? Last year. Boom. Where do you think HEX is compared to Bitcoin? It's probably back here. You know where I think it is? I think HEX is right here. But it's not going to dip as much as Bitcoin because of the staking mechanism, right? And because Pulse Chain. So it's going to suck up the entire crypto market. And once you get on the Pulse network, I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be buying HEX. And we're pre-viral. And Pulse Chain is going to be popular because all other founders of other cryptocurrencies are into it. So in effect, once everyone finds out about Richard and Pulse, they're going to find out about HEX. You guys should go to Richard Hart's YouTube channel and watch his last 2 videos. Fantastic videos. Fantastic. All right. Now, a lot of people, like, because we live in a society, because we're at tail end of empire and men aren't men anymore, like, men find Richard hilarious. But men who aren't men, they might get a little offended. I don't know. You know? He's smart. He's a genius. Listen, the guy's honest. I've been following him since early 2017 when he first appeared on Tone Ways, okay? I was in Strape. I was in the trading groups. He did call the top in Bitcoin, just like I did in 2017. He did call it. All right. So, and listen, this is different. This isn't like the other cryptos. This is actual innovation. This is like Apple coming out of the dot-com bubble. This is like Microsoft coming out of the dot-com bubble. This is like Amazon. That's how I view HEX. I haven't really talked about Pulse. I should talk about it. All right, so if you missed out on HEX, you didn't, because I equate it to $30 Bitcoin right now. So if you could buy Bitcoin, if you could roll back time and buy it at $30, would you? Or how about something better? All right. We'll talk more about HEX. All right. Yeah, I've got strategies, right? For the Pulse sacrifice. Now we're past the 5-day phase. Now every day, today, we have like 5 hours from now, you could get 5% less Pulse. I'm not that worried. I sacrificed 5% of my liquid supply. Wasn't much. I think there's better strategies, but that's for private members. So this is like the launch of... So you have 3 hours and 30 minutes. This is like the launch of Ethereum. So you had Bitcoin, and then you had the launch of Ethereum, then it went to a bull market. I equate this to that. Pulse Chain, deflationary. The gas fees are going to be burned, a lot of it. High throughput, fast, low gas. It's going to save a lot of projects. This is getting in on ground floor. Oh shit, it's also proof of stake. Ethereum's a hybrid. It's still proof of work. Just like Bitcoin. It's proof of work. What is proof of work? You have to have these giant mining rig operations just burning massive amounts of electricity. And you know that's a very, very negative externality, especially right now in today's day and age of going green and getting rid of carbon. I don't know what they really mean by that, because people are carbon-based, so are plants and animals, but hey, I think you guys know what I'm saying. So, yeah, man. you might want to look into it because the clock's ticking. Listen, the biggest opportunities right now are happening. You don't want to miss that. So go to Richard's channel and watch him. The guy's brilliant. Okay, yeah, so he's a little he's hilarious, guys. He's sitting there with $1 million of watches and Louis Vuitton everywhere. Just trolling all the haters. Because the entire crypto community was just... I mean, I've never seen a crypto... For all the HEX streamers and Richard, they've been going through some shit. Alright? Through the trenches. And I felt bad. I'm like, man, I got to get in there. But I didn't feel bad. Alright? Because I'm beholden to my private group members, and I wanted to buy them as much time as humanly possible to accumulate HEX while it was cheap. So if I came out and I was like, listen, dumbasses, the liquid supply is only shrinking. HEX is easily going to $100. It's easily going to $10. Then all of the people, the poor people who got lucky and bought HEX early on, who are cashing out millions and millions and millions of dollars buying trailers and Lambos and watches and traveling and homes. It's crazy. It's all over Twitter. When was the last time you saw Bitcoiners buying Lambos and mansions and $50,000, $10,000 watches? These people, they don't get it. They get it, but they can't help themselves. And this was the psychology I wanted to talk about. And I haven't heard this from anyone else. I don't really listen to Maddie or anything. I've read hundreds of books, of self-help books myself. I actually wrote one myself many years ago, but I'm so lazy I can't even publish it. Because I used to just listen. I used to put in the headphones when I worked out, when I drove my car. I turned it into a rolling university. I read all the Tony Robbins books, the ones up there, The Money, Master of the Game, Napoleon Hill, Outwitting the Devil. A lot of people don't know about that. I've read all the Dale Carnegie, the action strategy books, all the marketing books. Listen, this is the secret that they don't want you sheep and plebs to know. And this is why most people also lose money trading and speculating and investing. Okay? So you know how lottery winners, they always lose all the money and then they end up broke and even worse with addictions? Okay. And everyone's like, yeah, that's because they don't know how to manage money. They didn't know how to make that money, so they're going to lose it all. That's half of it. The other half is you subconsciously self-sabotage. Why is that? Well, when you were growing up, your parents indoctrinated you, your siblings, your friends, your school, your coworkers, everyone. And it's not their fault. They were indoctrinated by their parents, their friends and siblings and all that. Okay, let me explain. Alaskan fishermen, they go crab fishing. They drop cages into the ocean. It falls to the bottom of the ocean. The top of the cage is open. It's open. The crabs crawl in because there's bait at the bottom of the cage. And all the crabs crawl in, they eat the bait. So why don't they all just crawl back out and become free? Because they leave them down there for days. Well, so one crab will try to crawl out, and what do all the other crabs do? They grab that crab and pull him right back down. And they keep pulling all the crabs back down. Well, why is that? Well, I don't know why crabs do it, but that's what humans do. If you're becoming successful, you're becoming free financially. I hate to say it, man, but you are a mirror to everyone else. This is why I don't care about the trolls. This is why I don't even reply to them. I actually feel sorry for them. I really do. I do pity them. You are a mirror to them. Especially friends and people who know you, they think they're smarter than you, first of all. And then they know you're not that much smarter than them. But if you work really, really hard and do your best and you just never give up, you're going to make it. And they don't like seeing that, because then you're a reflection of themselves and the fact that they're lazy and they don't want to do what it takes. And then there's the indoctrination. Traps were set inside your brain. Seeds were planted by your parents and everyone. They destroyed your self-esteem. They said you're going to be a loser. They said you're not going to make it. They said, no, just do what everyone else is doing. No, go get that job and work 9 to 5. No, don't do this, don't do that. No, don't buy HEX. It's just, most people don't really want to be rich. They just want their poor man problems to go away. And that's the truth of it. So when people accidentally get rich, or maybe, for example, a lot of people just liked Richard. They thought of him as like a leader, a great leader, alpha male. They want to be a part of something. He did help him with self-help books. Richard was trying to help people. If you go all the way back, I did this. If you go all the way back on his YouTube channel, you can see for many, many years before he ever even talked about crypto, he was just trying to help people because he was retired at age 20. And all of his history is correct. It's all legit, guys. I looked into it. And a lot of those guys, they bought HEX very early on, dirt cheap, and now they're super rich. And when they see $1 million, they see 500,000, they see 100,000, they can't help themselves but to self-sabotage. They'll make up whatever excuse in their brain. They'll sell the damn coins, all of them, and walk away with money, a lot of money. And then they're going to go and buy dumb shit. And hopefully they won't. Hopefully they'll watch this video and buy back in before it's too late. Like, you do not want to, you want to make sure that you never sell all of it, because it creates interest and it could do it possibly for the rest of your life. And it's always there, man. It gives you hope. It gives you something to look forward to in the future. It's somewhat security for your future. You have something to look forward to. And that mentally is huge. Okay? There's already, like, this thing has helped a lot of people mentally. It's helped me get through all this, especially with all the things I know, like, and see going on around the world. A lot of people in my news group, this and that, we're really tuned into what's going on in the world, and that shit is negative, man. It's real negative, and you just need something, right? And this is it. And a lot of people right now are like, dude, what about the stock market and mining stocks and gold and silver? I'm like, yeah, the time's coming for them too. I'll make a markets video next couple days. But it's heavily manipulated. Basel 3 happened. That was to crush it. You got to be patient with that. Listen, the only people who get rich are the ones who are patient. It's a Warren Buffett quote. It's the only thing I like about the guy. He's right. It's people who are patient. Staking. Okay? Staking your HEX forces you to be patient. It forces you to not fuck yourself over, essentially. Because people can't help themselves. And look at the rest of the crypto market. It's a disaster. It's a bear market. Could last for years. What's crazy is, what if Pulse and HEX do so well that it just takes over, right? Look at this. What did I tell you guys on Twitter and the chat groups, the free ones in the newsroom? If Bitcoin falls below 30K, it's dumperoonie. Okay, so, and Richard said 10,000. I don't know how far it's gonna drop. He's been pretty good. He's been nailing it, right? He nailed the top on just recently at 65,000. He nailed it. I didn't call it. He called it. Afterwards, I was like, yeah, I agree with him. It's time. I mean, for weeks prior to that, I was saying, this looks bad. We've got, I mean, come on. When you have NFTs selling for millions of dollars, it's time to punish everyone for being degenerates. It just is. All right. So we're having a great time. There's a lot of millionaires in my private group now, the ones who listen to me, and yeah, I don't know what else to say. We have so much exciting things going on. If you're interested, I mean, just do what you can, learn as quick as possible. It's basically Ethereum 2.0, and it's better. That's what Pulse is. Look at this. Check this out. Total sacrificed. So people are taking their cryptos and they're sacrificing, and there's no expectation of getting anything. You might just be giving your money to Richard, and you might run away with it or whatever. That's the risk. But you know what? If you want to possibly get rewarded for a political statement, you might get rewarded with these PLS coins that will be worth nothing when you get it. So no tax implications. And so far, over $500 million was raised, and that is amazing. That's a lot of money in crypto that was raised. Richard has also raised $25 million for the Sens Foundation. No one in crypto has ever done anything like that, anything positive for the world. And they're trying to cure diseases and do life longevity. And this is probably, and none of the other people are. This is what Richard talks about it. Listen, guys, I think that's the best way for us to make the world a better place. And he raised $25 million through this political statement and sacrifice to make Pulse Chain possible, okay? And then they talk shit about him. Look, we all know. Everyone's been rug pulled. Everyone's been scamwicked by these margin trading exchanges. All these crypto YouTubers, the way they make money is they get their shills. I've never in my life taken a penny from anyone, but they all do. Not all of them, but most of them probably do, okay? I've seen it with my own eyes. I know they do. HEX is such a great project, and the fact that Richard's been calling them all out, of course they're going to talk negatively about HEX and Richard. Of course they are. Because it's a threat to their shilling livelihood, okay? That's what I believe, okay? I'm not naming anyone. I'm just saying in general, it's just rampant with scammers. Like everyone and everything. I mean, just, you guys know if you've been in the space. Alright guys, smash some likes, share my videos. Please share. Please join my private group if you want to support me. I'll do a sale, 50% off. And $20 a month. And yeah. If you're interested in all this, just message me. Don't message me. There might be a scammer. I mean, the best way to talk to me is to just join the private group, right? If you guys want to support me, I'm sharing this opportunity with you guys now. I'm sorry I wasn't talking about it earlier, but I wanted the weak hands out. It's the only way we're going to go higher. Okay, it's better the weak hands get out under 10 cents, around 15 cents, around 20 cents, than at $1, $5, $10, $20. This had to happen. It's what happens with all assets, with all markets, with everything. The weak hands have to get shaken out early, not late. All right. So, and like I said, I have to do. The people who believe in me, I wanted the best for them. So, the best for them is for me to keep my mouth shut, so they could keep accumulating. So I could keep accumulating. I bought some more HEX yesterday. I'm going to buy some more HEX probably tomorrow. And this is fucking nuts because I've been buying it in dollar cost averaging for like a year and a half. So, but that's what I believe. And I believe it's going so much higher. And I have never sold not even one. And I'm being honest, guys. I have a lot staked past 12 years. That's how much I believe in this. I have just sitting out there for years on out. And by the way, someone tried hacking me, so like I'm paranoid as shit. I had to do a lot to make sure I'm secure. So I couldn't make videos for the past few weeks. And I had a vacation, all kinds of crap. So please understand. Alright guys.
Project not complete. Not the same thing. Promised returns and go build something. How much X is Bitcoin up now? 1,000 X over a penny. Who's designed to replace fiat currency? Back to the 10,000 X. Smart fucker I am.